Hello friends, today in this video we are going to see how we are going to implement an Angular table with features like we can select the number of columns to be displayed in our table. Means we can decide which columns to be displayed if our table is large. We can search on the basis of column filtering. We can sort the records. We can use pagination. We can resize the columns. We can reorder the columns. So these are all the features that we are going to see today in our video. So let's start the video. In our application we are going to use the P table. So let's use it. So here you can see the P table that we have implemented in our HTML file. Here we can define the columns, the data, whether we want reorderable, resizable, we want sorting, we want pagination, number of rows to be displayed in this table. This template is being used to display a multi-select which decides the number of columns to be displayed in this table. Next we have a template where we are deciding the headers to be displayed, where we have applied the sorting, resizable, and this is the input field that we have applied to be that allows us to search the records. Like we have over here, we can put any text over here in this text field and search the records. Next template we have for the body, where we can, for each column records, we can display the records in the table. And at the end we have the save and the reset button. Changes we need to do in the DS file is we created a variable for columns, one variable to hold the data, and one variable to hold the selected columns. Currently we are getting error because cars is not defined, so let's define it. For this demo purpose, this data is a constant that we are using in our table. Now we initialize the columns that we are going to display in our data table. Here we are also using local storage to hold the number of columns to be selected by the user, and some of the supporting methods to get the column fields, to save the column fields in the local storage. And this save method is called from here, this button. Whenever we click this button, the number of columns saves in our local storage. To use P table, we have to install 3 dependencies. First one is the prime ng, second is prime icons, and third is Angular animation. After installing these 3 dependencies, we have to make some changes in angular.json file. In this, we can define the look and feel of our data table that is to be decided by the libraries that we recently installed in our application. Here we have decided the theme that we are going to use for our data table. Now we have to import some libraries in our app module class. After installing those 3 dependencies, so we have to import it. After importing this in app module, we are all done. We can now start our application. Now our application is started. Now let's open it in browser. We can see the data table is available, and here we can choose which column to see in our data table. We can filter the records. Yes, it's working. uh, it's working. It's working. The pagination is working. We can decide which columns to be want to see, and we can see that sorting is working. The column reordering, let's reorder the columns. Yes, column reordering is working, and column resizing is working. So everything is working fine properly. So that's all for this video. Hope you like this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe it. Thank you.